agree.
Definitely going to stay here.
Their chase of perfection doesn't mean that they are less self-confident.
But it does.
Welcome to Bridge the Gap, a show where we aim to build a bridge of understanding between opposing views. Each episode, you'll see our participants sit down to discuss some thought-provoking statements.
The cosmetic industry takes advantage of people's insecurities.
If they disagree with the statement, they'll leave their seat and allow those that agree to explain themselves. Those that disagree then return and express themselves to the rest of the group.
I think most ethical doctors, though, will take a history from a patient. They'll ask them about their social status, their social history.
Hopefully building a bridge of understanding. Let's see what happens.
Injectable procedures and cosmetic surgery should not be promoted by influencers.
What do you think about this statement? Let us know in the comments.
You can start. Okay.
I feel like celebrities and influencers have a moral obligation for how they're influencing people, especially because there are so many young girls who spend a lot of time on social media. It's so accessible. I mean, when we were younger, we would have to maybe go through the yellow pages or go onto the internet or, I don't know, go on a specific channel to try and find out about plastic surgery. But if it's something which is just picking up your phone and there are celebrities who we look up to perhaps, and like Kylie Jenner, for instance, she has influenced so many young people to get their lips done. Hey, my name is Shioni Hardy. I am a self-esteem coach.
That's what I think as well. I just feel like only because of the young girls aspect of things, I feel like influencers have that influence on so many people that may not even have their own mind yet and have not maybe even developed themselves to a point of whatever they're going to grow into, for instance. Like, if I give an example of, like, say, I always wanted to get my boobs done when I was younger, and you know, I always wanted to get them done, but if I had an influencer or whatever, celebrities that I was watching and they were like, get it done, or I got mine done, it was this March, whatever, that might have maybe coerced me to go and get it done sooner. But then now, today, I wouldn't get my boobs done.
Hi, my name is V Chanda. I'm an international makeup artist and a content creator.
I feel like with social media and with the life that we're in right now, with influencing and celebrities promoting something, I just worry for the younger generation and of who it's influencing to do things before their time, really, and without even really having time to really overly think about it or think about, I don't know, just think about just at least wait. I always say, if you want to do something, sit on it for a while, especially if it's to your body or anything like that, or maybe if it's for women or have a child or two. I would have wanted to, like I said, with my boob situation, I'm so glad I did get it done now. Would I get any other things done? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But when it comes to that in particular, I just, worry for the younger generation that don't have their own, they haven't grown into the woman that they want to be.
Yeah, like they haven't developed their mind yet.
Right.
So they kind of just scroll on Instagram and then they see it and they're just like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
They might discuss it amongst their friends. They're all around the same age.
Right.
And then they just want to do it. So, hi, my name's Shelley. I'm a personal trainer and an online coach.
Go ahead without even thinking properly about it or even waiting and let your body develop, really. That's my thing, it's about waiting.
If there was a specific age restriction for a post, then I think that's slightly different. You know, you might not be able to see the post if you're not a certain age.
100%.
But then that means that social media sites, you might have to put like identification, like your passport or something in, just to actually make sure that the person behind the account is the age they are, instead of just faking it.
Yeah, that's my thing. Just the younger generation, that's all that.
I think the most important thing is just having that strong core of self-esteem.
Yeah.
And a lot of young people, they don't have that parental guidance to help them build that from a young age, and it can really influence young people in a detrimental way.
Yeah, or even if, say like, if an influencer was going to promote something, maybe they should have had the surgery a good 3 years ago. like have a time frame, because sometimes you think about it, you have like influencers that maybe will have a service done, and of course they'll be like favoured to make sure that their service is amazing, because obviously they're the ones that will be promoting and being the advert of that surgery, that's treatment or whatever the case is. So sometimes they even have faults within that surgery that they do, but maybe if they wait a bit before they promote it and then tell other people, okay, this is what I got done, I love it, this is what happened, these are the cons, pros, whatever the case is, maybe that might be a bit better. Maybe like have like a year clause or 2-year clause, something, I don't know.
So we're going to have the people that disagree come back in now, please.
Yeah.
For those of you that disagree, if you could turn to the surgeon and discuss amongst yourselves.
Right, guys, what have you got? Are any of you influencers here?
No.
Okay. Are you an influencer for your plastic surgery account?
You know, the reason I disagreed with the statement was because the word influence wasn't defined, or there are many reasons why I disagreed with it. Because we all have our influences. We have our social influences, we have our business influences, we have our family influences, and that circle of influence can extend as wide as you want it to, depending on how you promote yourself. And if we're going to deny people free speech and free expression to say, this is what I've had done, this is who I went to, I've had a really nice result, I'm very happy with this result. And if you are interested in having something similar to what I had, go and see this person, then I don't think it's a good idea to stop people from expressing themselves. My name is Tamer Shweb, I'm a consultant plastic surgeon. You could argue that people who are so-called influencers are having treatments without charge, but I would say as a surgeon, if I see a patient, I take a history, I ask them a few questions, I examine them, I consider options, and I give them time to make a decision based on what they don't like about themselves and what they're hoping to achieve. And if they've then made a decision to go ahead with a treatment, then I will do that treatment if they're accepting of the risks. The money is a separate issue altogether. And in my practice, I will see my patients as patients, and the administrative staff will see them as, will give them a financial contract. I have no influence on what they pay, but I do know that I'm going to be looking after my patients. So you could argue that, you know, your influencers are those people who don't pay for their food in a restaurant, they don't pay for their fillers if they're getting fillers, they don't pay for their holidays if they're being asked to go on holiday somewhere. But actually, once you take money out of the equation, then they're patients, and you cannot stop people from wanting to be their best and seeking these treatments out.
I agree.
No, I don't have a problem. That's something I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine. My thing is only the fact that maybe an influencer receiving surgery and then, because really it's not, even though, because I do like some touch of influencing where I would get things for free, like beauty brands and stuff like that, and I would like talk about it. So it's the same sort of thing. And it's not for free because they're still creating content in that sense. However, my only thing is when it comes to the surgery, and this might be, if they have to promote it, it has to be in a certain way. And I think there's some influencers that I could say, hands down, they do it right. If they will talk about what the real of it.
But they believe in the product that they're promoting.
Yes, I think for people that believe in a product, and even sometimes if you've paid for it, yeah, you can talk about it. But my thing is to push something like, oh, go and get it done, guys, because it was great. Like, don't say go and get it done, but this is what I've got, this is how I loved it, and that's it. But not to like advertise to like come, like this is my discount code, come.
I see the influencing as a job. Hi, my name is Jane. I'm a model and I do aesthetics. So if they're a blogger, if they're vlogging their life, you're not going to not include that part of their life because it might affect the younger generation.
Right.
If you're including this is what shampoo I use and this is my daily diet and stuff like that, you're not going to avoid speaking about this topic because of the influence it will have to the younger generation. However, that is not their responsibility. That's not their responsibility. It's down to the individual to make that decision on their own. So I do feel like it's fine for influencers to promote such a thing as I wouldn't avoid something because it might affect. I wouldn't want to do something that might affect something, basically, if that makes sense, you know.
The cosmetic industry takes advantage of people's insecurities.
What do you think about this statement? Let us know in the comments.
Disagree goes
What's a bit? No.
I'm like half and half. Well, I mean, I'm not even half and half, it's mixed. I'll just go to the side for the moment and we can talk about it.
I'm a bit in between as well. It's a bit of a tricky one.
Thank you.
It's not the industry, because the industry is just there. But I feel like when there are specific plastic surgeons who potentially lower their prices and then don't offer a service which is adequate, then that can be really bad for people. You know, there's a lot of horror stories about people going abroad to get cheaper surgeries. But it's not the actual, I mean, it's the individual who chooses to partake in it.
Right.
It's their responsibility at the end of the day.
I do kind of feel like if they have gone and taken that step to seek an opinion from a plastic surgery, they already know their insecurities, and it's something that's obvious for them to take that step to see a professional. But however, when it comes to a sense of you're in the presence and then they start pointing out other things that
happens.
Yeah, it does happen, and it can go either way. But that's where I see they might take advantage or see someone as being insecure and be like, we can also do this, or if you get 2 treatments.
This? Have you noticed your
you get a discount?
Agree
and then
with what you just said, because people that come into my room, I'm very mindful of the fact that they really have insecurities. That's why they're here.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't do that. If I have a client come in and they talk about, they ask me, what do they ask me? I hate, what should I do to my face? I'll be like, look, you
need this, you need that,
I try literally my hardest not to, because it's still a business, you know. I mean, I'm not talking for myself because I don't do that. But, you know, I might hear that they've gone elsewhere and they pointed out that they've had crooked teeth or they need to do their
things out.
Do you understand? So I try not to, you know, project so much on their insecurities. But I mean, I'm all about natural enhancements anyway. So if I can see that someone's got fillers up to their nose, you need to dissolve it. Hi, my name's Emily. I own a business called Enhanced by EB where we do aesthetic procedures. It's more because it's just not aesthetic appeasing. And a lot of them, some of them that can't see, have body dysmorphia to like another extent.
Right.
And so like I'm a practitioner, I'm not so much a surgeon, so my opinions might be completely different, but I do feel like it's good when we have some type of knowledge sometime on mental health. And I was actually looking at a course called First Aid in Mental Health, because you come across people that just are mentally not okay.
Right.
And
then would you still, so what happens then if they're not okay?
If they come in, usually they come in, so girls might come in because they've had a really bad breakup, so they come in to do things that pick me up.
Wow.
But if they come in and what they want is okay, I'll give it to them. It's not a problem, because that's completely separate, right? But when you're some type of a therapist, they end up just offloading on the things that they have, because it's an intimate setting. So I mean, now I partnered up with charities to be able to give them the therapy or help that they need, but then my job stops at when I inject you.
I think most ethical doctors, though, will take a history from a patient. They'll ask them about their social status, their social history. They'll ask them a few questions relating to their psychological well-being as well.
Right.
And in my practice, for example, we ask everyone a psychological questionnaire, and so we assess their mental health and we assess their psychological well-being in terms of the aspects of which they don't like and what they're coming in to see us about. So we do make an assessment, and I think good practice would dictate that this is performed. So the reason why I disagree with the statement or with the question, which was, do you think the cosmetic industry is taking advantage of people with insecurities, is no, because the people who have insecurities to the extent that they would not benefit from any kind of treatments. This type of person is filtered out, and we just wouldn't treat them. We would maybe advise them to seek help elsewhere. And I think the skill that we have as doctors in our diagnostic abilities is something that we're trained in from the very beginning in medical school, and that is the thing that is drummed into us. You have to make a diagnosis, and whether that diagnosis is made because someone is seeing us for an illness related to an internal organ or their well-being in terms of their appearance, it doesn't matter. We still make that diagnosis and we still treat them accordingly.
Cosmetic procedures can be empowering.
What do you think about this statement? Let us know in the comments.
Empowering. Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely going to stay here. I'm happy to start answering that question.
I think you're the best person.
So when, cosmetic procedures can be empowering. Do I agree or disagree? Yes, I strongly agree with that. I've had so many patients come to me after I've done their treatments to effectively normalize their appearance. For example, someone has they've been bullied at school about their facial appearance. Their nose, for example, may be disproportionately large to their facial features, and they'd be bullied at school. They've been bullied by their friends and even their family. I can think of so many examples where my patients have said to me, "I am now moving away from home. I'm moving away from school. I'm going to university in a different town, and I don't want to have the same. I don't want to have the same experience. I don't want people to tell me your nose is too big for your face in the way that they do. And although they may say it in a humorous and amusing manner, it's really not funny. So I've had people say to me, I'm going to move home. I'm going to move city, and I'm going to start a new life, and I want to just normalize my appearance. And when they come and see me afterwards for their follow-up, 6 months later, 1 year later, they tell me the stories about how they can just function normally in life. People are seeing them for who they are rather than how they appear. So can it empower people when they have cosmetic treatments? For sure it can.
It's quite sad how you say normalize, though, because surely wouldn't it be so much better if everything was accepted the way that people look?
And that's your job. Your job is to change society.
I know, we should start a practice together.
And my job is to make people feel, well, I just want to fit in. And so many people just want to fit in. And you know, if they have something which, if someone has something which falls outside our boundaries of acceptance as a community, as a population, then we can just I can normalize their appearance, and they can just forget about the things that they've lived with for so long, and they can just move on with their lives.
And I think sometimes when you have like a insecurity, you see that insecurity more than anybody else sees that insecurity. We amplify our insecurity so much more. If you think about it, sometimes when you've got an insecurity and you say to somebody, "Oh, I want to do this," they're like, "Really?"
And I think that's right. And I think that's where the disproportionality of their insecurity should match the physical appearance. And if someone has more emotional content to what they don't like in comparison to the physical content, then that's wrong. And it should match. You know, someone, if they're looking to have some treatment done, the way they feel about it should match their physical appearance.
But then what if, always though? All the time?
Yes, because if it's disproportionate, if someone feels really strongly about a minor imperfection, then they're never going to be happy no matter what we do.
Got you.
And in fact, to an extent, that's the definition of body dysmorphia.
Got you.
But you can work on body dysmorphia, and
can you?
But yeah, you can.
And there are some people that I've seen who've been diagnosed with body dysmorphia, but I know they've got facial disproportion.
How do you feel like how? Because when I come across people that have body dysmorphia, firstly they don't know they have it. Yeah, they never know they have it.
Really?
Yeah, so even if you do give... I don't think there's anything wrong with enhancements. I feel like if it makes you feel better and it's something you want to do, go ahead and do it.
And that's why I feel so individual. And that's why I was going back to the influence thing. That's why it's so individual when it comes to like what you want to have done. It's for you. Like it's something that you've seen and you want to change.
But it's not always for you. It's like
majority of the time, or it should be.
Yes, it should. It definitely should be. And speaking to you especially, and you, I feel like we're really being enlightened about the ethical practices and how you guys are saying how it's important to make sure that the individual, the client, has a sane mind and is coming at it from a right point of view. You know what I'm trying to say.
Do you think there's a perception? Sorry. Do you think there's a perception of us being in an unethical industry? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I feel like no. I'm just going to come out and say
so much in the UK because we're actually governed, have rules and regulation, but abroad, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I came here today under. Well, I personally feel like people should be able to have cosmetic surgery and change themselves however they want, but I don't necessarily feel like it's a good thing because fundamentally people are changing themselves from a place of insecurity, and I feel like we should try and develop ourselves internally before changing our external appearance.
The choice to have cosmetic surgery comes from a lack of self-confidence.
What do you think about this statement? Let us know in the comments.
Agree with that.
The choice.
So you only get cosmetic surgery if you lack self-confidence.
Not only.
But not only.
Yeah, that's why I'm
I think
disagreeing.
I'm in the middle.
I guess.
I
don't understand.
I'm in the middle, but I'm going to leave.
I feel like if you're secure in yourself and you're happy in all of that, then you're not gonna seek to get surgery or seek to change something. I feel like if you're secure and you're happy with yourself, then you wouldn't be looking at changing something.
Yeah, I mean, it goes in a way that, you might be secure, but you just want to be a better version of yourself. So let's say you're happy with how you look. It wouldn't really play in as you're not happy or you're insecure or you're not self-confident. Maybe you just want a better version of yourself. And that let's say, for example, you might like narrow noses or something, and you have a all right nose, but you want a narrow nose. Doesn't mean you're not happy with it. You've lived with it, but maybe this is your ideal look, and maybe that's just what you wanted to do. But I don't feel like all the time it plays out as their self-doubt in their appearance and things like that. So.
But then, would you say that you're 100% happy with something if you're then going to go and change it?
I mean, people can get changed. People can have changes all the time. Like, for example, if you was to get your boobs done, like, you're happy with your boobs, but you want better boobs. Doesn't mean that you can't live without the surgery, but you just want a better version.
I feel like you guys were arguing against each other then. I mean, that statement was too broad to say. Like, not every single surgery is done because of an insecurity, like you were explaining. There's 4 different types.
Yeah.
So,
no, it was confidence, though, isn't it? Does it mean that if you get surgery, you lack self-confidence? Which
I do think that's true. I think that's true, but I don't think that fundamentally, like all surgery isn't done because of a lack of self-confidence. But even if you think that you're beautiful, but you just want to enhance a certain type of thing, like you should just feel confident enough within yourself. Like you shouldn't have to have that extra mil of lip filler or anything to make you want to be perfect. People are chasing perfection.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
The chase of perfection doesn't mean that they are less self-confident.
But it does.
No,
it genuinely does.
They can be the most confident girl that walks up in here, but still, they want to be a better version of themselves.
Confidence and self-esteem are 2 different things.
Okay.
So what's the difference? Then what's confidence then?
Confidence is your ability to speak to people.
Yeah, so that means you can
self-esteem
be
is how you see yourself and how you see the world.
Yeah, so which means then you can have confidence.
You can be a confident person with a low self-image, with a low self-esteem.
Right, yeah. That's what I thought. So that means you can get surgery and still have confidence.
I think there's a large number of people who just want a little bit of work done. They're really happy with themselves. they got high levels of self-confidence and self-esteem. You know, they're doing fine, and they just want a little bit of work done.
But why want to jazz up their life sometimes?
Because they...
But
that doesn't mean to say...
Is it the way that society is, how everyone feels
No,
like...
they just want to look their best.
But why?
Why do you want to look your best?
Your best.
I think everyone wants to look their best. You know, no one wants to walk around feeling ugly that day. You know, you just
your best. Yeah.
But like you just said, that they're attractive people potentially who are doing doing well.
So you're saying that we can have, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're a 9, you're not allowed to go to 10.
I'm not saying anyone should be able to do whatever they want to do. But I'm just talking about why people do stuff.
Well, let these people who are on a 9 out of 10 go on to a 10 out of 10. What I've learned today is about the beauty industry in terms of cosmetics, particularly for people with black skin.
It was nice to hear people's different perspective on what they thought self-care and self-love meant to them. Obviously, my view is going to be that if you want to do enhancements, just go ahead and do it.
I came here today with the impression that people who get surgery, they must be insecure, but I feel like that's not actually true because some people have it for corrective issues.
I am still like a believer of being the best version of yourself. It was interesting listening to everyone's perspective of things.
What I took back from today was like obviously the beauty industry and cosmetic surgery and just everyone's input and how different people see cosmetic surgery and confidence and self-esteem in different ways.
Plastic surgery can be quite a broad topic, but it was interesting to hear how they think about it.